Hey friends, welcome to another video. This is a review of my Interceptor 650. I have used my Interceptor 650 for the last 1 month, and this is my honest opinion about the Interceptor 650. Alright, so let's get started. This video is about two parts. The first part I'm gonna cover the positives that I have found, and on the second part I will cover about the negatives. Starting with the positives. The first positive is that this is a 650cc motorbike and it is an affordable one for sure. The alternatives to this vehicle would cost a fortune. And in fact, if you like the retro classic models or the modern classic vehicles, this is one choice for you. The design of this vehicle is such that it is highly amazing. You always get a timeless design for this vehicle for sure. And this will not burn your pockets. The alternatives to this retro classic model is going to cost a real big hole on your pockets. For instance, the Triumph T120 or the Triumph T100. The Triumph T100 will cost around 12 lakhs Indian rupees, and Triumph T120 will go even beyond 14 lakhs and it will touch closer to 15 lakhs. So this is the most affordable retro classic bike for sure. Another positive is that the maintenance cost is pretty less. Hats off to Royal Enfield for keeping the service costs so low as they are offering for this vehicle. I have just done my first service of this vehicle and it costed me just 2,717 rupees. I have created a separate video with the details of the breakdown costs associated with first service of my Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, and you can check that video to see the details of it. Another positive is that it has got a highly refined engine and it is super smooth. It will touch your soul if you are a motorbike lover. It will connect with your heart. The refinement of this vehicle is such that you can definitely ride this vehicle at very high gears, even at smaller speeds. This vehicle has 6 gears. However, if you would like to apply your 6th gear even at the speed of 40s, you can definitely do that. There is pretty little knocking for this vehicle. Another positive is that riding this vehicle is like a feel-good movie. It is a feel-good bike. You will definitely fall in love with this bike. Another great positive in going for Interceptor 650 is that Royal Enfield has got wide service networks all across the country. You will find an official authorized service center in the nook and corner of most of the cities. Since RE has got a huge network of service centers, the availability of spare parts are never going to be an issue. All the spare parts which you require for this vehicle is available just around the corner. And another great thing is that the standard customization offered by Royal Enfield is also pretty decent. You have got a good list of options available for your customizations. Alright folks, that was a Harley. So let's get started with the negatives, starting with the mileage. So when you are purchasing this sort of a vehicle, the mileage is never really a concern for most of the people. Surely you are not going to get much. The mileage for this vehicle is around 20. You should not expect more than that. Even the 1200cc bikes like Triumph T120 has better mileage than Interceptor 650. However, if you ride it on the comfortable speed levels without roughly using this vehicle, you're gonna get a decent mileage. Post the delivery of my bike, when I rode it for the first time, the bike was getting turned off while on the move. This happened around 8 to 10 times when I have ridden the bike on the very first day. When the Interceptor turned off initially for a few times, I thought I may have to get used to the new clutch and axle and so on. However, since I have seen this issue multiple times, I decided to go back to the showroom. So I visited the showroom again on the same day after an hour post the delivery of the bike. Then the technician was available on the showroom, has examined my bike, and he has basically adjusted the slow speed of the vehicle and cleaned the side stand sensors. And he said this issue may not occur again. So I went back home. However, the issue persisted, and even more surprisingly, the bike was getting turned off while applying clutch even when the vehicle is moving around 40 kilometers or 45 kilometers per hour. I have ridden the bike for like 2 days, this issue has occurred a bit frequently. Most noticeably, this issue occurred while lowering the gear and applying long clutch. So I spoke to the showroom people again, and they have advised me to show the vehicle on the service center. So I visited the service center, and the service center people have ridden the bike and tested the issue. And clearly they have experienced the same issue in front of me. The bike was getting turned off while on the move. Then with the help of senior technicians, they have inspected the bike and they have found a couple of glitches. The feedback given to me were, basically Interceptor has twin cylinders, and one of the plugs that connects to one of the cylinders was not functioning properly or connected properly, and they have adjusted this connectivity. That was issue number 1. Second issue was the clutch play was not adequate. Obviously Interceptor 650 2023 model comes up with adjustable clutch levers. However, the clutch play was not adequate for the bike to function properly. So these two were the issues that they have identified, and they have corrected these issues. It was a prompt response that I have received from the Royal Enfield service technicians, and they have not charged me. Obviously it is a new bike, so they have not charged me for resolving these issues, and they have given me the bike back for testing. An advisor has sat with me on the bike, and I have tested the bike on the similar sort of scenarios where it was turning off earlier, and I could see the frequency of the issue got reduced. However, unfortunately, neither me nor the service people could reproduce this issue. In case if I face this challenge once again, they have asked me also to take a video of it and show it to them so that they could have a further look on that. I still feel there is a small glitch that needs to be still addressed, but nothing major concerning for me as of yet. Another negative is going to be the maintenance effort, not the maintenance cost. The maintenance effort is going to be really high. Even though the maintenance cost is not that high, you will have to maintain this vehicle properly every time you take this beauty for a ride. Another negative is the build quality. Make no mistake about it, this is a 650cc budget bike. Even though this vehicle is going to cost you more than 4 lakhs, this is a budget bike for sure. You should not be having very high expectations regarding to the build quality of this vehicle. However, it has got decent parts all over. So you should not have too much of trouble using this vehicle, and you can definitely use it for at least 5 to 6 years without any problems. Another negative is, I will not say this point as a negative. This bike is not meant for speeds. This is meant for a feel-good ride. If you are a kind of person that goes for KTMs and enjoy the raw power, this is not a vehicle for you. This is meant to ride at around 60-70 kilometers per hour. That's when you get the max feel about this vehicle. Another point is, the seats are not that comfortable. This is of course a bench seat offered by the Royal Enfield as part of the stock setup of this vehicle. However, you have also an option for a touring seat. Having said that, the seat comfort has definitely increased over the period of time. I have ridden a previous model Interceptor 650, and this is a 2023 model, and I can clearly see the difference in the seat comfort on this vehicle. Still, not everybody is comfortable with the seat of this vehicle, so if you prefer a touring seat, you can definitely upgrade it. Another huge concern is related to the headlight visibility. I have a Classic 350 as well with a halogen headlight. I can see the Classic 350 with a halogen headlight outperforms Interceptor with an LED headlight. Headlight visibility is really poor. You will definitely feel like changing it. However, from the authorized service centers, you don't have much options available. The problem with the LED headlights is that the high beam is not good enough. The low beam, yes, it is just about okay. It is still below par. However, the high beam is definitely not good enough. When you apply the high beam, the light travels parallelly and it doesn't hit the road. So you are eventually nullifying the impact of the high beam on Interceptor 650. It is what it is, so you will have to live with it. So riding at 60 kilometers per hour or 70 kilometers per hour, that should be the max on this vehicle at nights. And it is always a concern if you go beyond 60 kilometers per hour or 70 kilometers per hour at night on this vehicle. Changing the headlights is of course violating the law as per different states. and you're not allowed to do any sort of modifications. Another major concern for many people is the position of the foot pegs. I am 5'11" and I had a terrible time on the first day. And in fact, I have worn an ankle shoes for the first day, and I wasn't expecting any problems on my legs. However, when I went back home, I felt the trouble, and I could see I badly injured my leg on the first day. However, I could get used to it pretty quickly. Since I had this trouble on the first day, on the very next day, I tried to ride this bike with a chappal. I wanted to see how it feels. And once you get used to the foot peg positions of this vehicle, you are going to be fine on that perspective. And if you now ask me, can I ride Interceptor 650 with your chappals? Yes, you can definitely do so, but not for too long. I used to go to the gyms every day, and I don't wear my shoes while going to the gyms. I use my chappal while I ride this vehicle every day morning while I'm going to my gym. So you can definitely use your chappals, but not for so long. Now let me talk about the heating of this vehicle. For the first initial 200 kilometers on this vehicle, you're gonna feel the heat so badly. Even if you're riding like 20 kilometers or 30 kilometers on this bike, and you will definitely feel the heat. However, I can definitely see the heating got reduced after the initial 200 kilometers. Still, when you ride the bike on a heavy traffic, you will definitely feel the heat. Even if you're taking this beauty for a small ride, you will definitely feel the heat. However, for the first initial 200 kilometers, the heating on this vehicle is exceptionally high. However, you will definitely see it getting reduced. Those were the quick points related to my experience with Interceptor 650 for the first month of usage. And if you ask me, or how is my overall opinion about this vehicle, I will definitely say the positives will always outweigh the negatives. Despite of all the negatives, I can clearly see the benefit of Interceptor 650. This is a feel-good vehicle, just like watching a feel-good movie. If you are a lover of classic retro, modern retro vehicles, this is definitely a choice for you. You will not feel disappointed. Alright folks, so thank you so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe to this channel for similar sort of contents, and you all have a wonderful day ahead.